Imagine a path filled with stones. Every step feels like a challenge, and moving forward seems impossible. But what if those stones weren't obstacles, but the stepping stones to your dreams? In this video, we'll journey together to the heart of the Himalayas to discover how life's biggest challenges can transform into the most powerful opportunities. Through an inspiring story and 3 practical strategies, you'll learn how to turn any obstacle into a springboard for success. Get ready for a journey that will change the way you see life. In a small village surrounded by majestic mountains, there lived a young man named Arjun. Since he was a child, Arjun dreamed of transforming his community. He knew that education had the power to change lives, but in his village, many children grew up without the chance to learn how to read or write. Arjun's dream was clear: to build a school. But when he found a plot of land to do so, he realized it was filled with enormous rocks. Imagine this land, uneven, almost impassable, with rocks so large that it seemed impossible to move them without heavy machinery. The villagers mocked his idea, saying, "How do you plan to build a school in that place? You don't even have tools." But Arjun had something no one could take away from him: his unshakable faith that he could make a difference. And here's where I want us to reflect together: how many times have we seen an obstacle so big that we stopped before even trying? In life, we face challenges similar to those rocks. They could be financial problems, difficult relationships, or even inner doubts. But, like Arjun, we can find ways to overcome those challenges if we have the right tools. The first strategy Arjun applied was to change his perspective. To him, the rocks were not a problem, they were a resource. Instead of thinking about how to remove them, he thought about how to use them. And that's exactly what he did. He started stacking the largest stones to build the school walls. In our lives, changing our perspective can completely transform how we see a problem. For example, let's say you're facing a tough situation at work. You could see it as a barrier or as an opportunity to develop new skills or explore a different path. Someone who loses their job might feel like everything is falling apart. But what if that job loss is the opportunity to start a business or pursue something they've always dreamed of? Changing your perspective doesn't eliminate the challenge, but it allows you to approach it from a place of power and creativity. Now, I want you to think about a challenge you're facing. How could you see it differently? Maybe that heavy problem you're carrying is actually a hidden opportunity. The second strategy Arjun used was to divide his problem into smaller parts. Instead of trying to clear the entire land at once, he focused on small sections. Every day, he worked on one area, moving stone by stone, and celebrated each small progress. This approach is key when we face goals that feel overwhelming. If we try to solve everything at once, it's easy to feel defeated. But if we break it down into smaller steps, each progress gives us the motivation to keep going. Imagine you want to save for a big project, like a trip or buying a house. Instead of obsessing over the total amount, you could set smaller goals, save a specific amount each week or month. Each step brings you closer to your goal without making the process overwhelming. Divide and conquer isn't just a saying, it's a way to approach any challenge with clarity and focus. So, what big goal can you divide into smaller steps today? The third strategy Arjun applied was to seek allies. Although he started working alone, his dedication began to inspire others. The children in the village joined him, and soon, their families did too. Together, they transformed what seemed like an impossible plot of land into the foundation of a school. In life, we're not meant to face challenges alone. There are always people, resources, or communities that can help us. Sometimes, seeking allies means asking a friend for help, finding a mentor, or even joining a group of people with similar goals. Think about someone training for their first marathon. Running alone can be discouraging, but joining a group of runners transforms the experience. Allies not only help us move forward, but they also remind us that we're not alone on our journey. Take a moment to reflect, who could be your ally right now? Maybe it's someone close to you, or perhaps it's someone you haven't met yet, but who can guide you toward where you want to go. The obstacles we face in life are not there to stop us, they're there to teach us. Arjun didn't just build a school, he inspired an entire community. The same people who once doubted him ended up believing in his dream. This shows us something powerful. When we face challenges with determination and the right strategies, we don't just transform our own lives, we also impact those around us. Think of people like Helen Keller, who overcame unimaginable challenges to leave a legacy. Or leaders like Nelson Mandela, who faced enormous obstacles with a clear vision of what they wanted to achieve. These stories remind us that challenges don't define who we are, how we respond to them does. Now, I want you to take a moment to reflect. What is the biggest obstacle in your life that you need to transform? Take a deep breath and visualize what your life would look like if you used that challenge as a bridge to something greater. Remember, every rock on your path can become a stepping stone if you're willing to move it or use it. Obstacles are part of the journey, but they're never the final destination.